Fremont County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order at 2:22 p.m. Would you do a roll call?
Kevin? Here. Matt?
Yes, here.
Ed?
Present.
Tim?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any changes to the agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The May 20th Board of Zoning Adjustment minutes were circulated at the meeting that we had last week. You had an opportunity to read those. Are there any changes, corrections to those minutes of May 20th? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the May 20th Board of Zoning Adjustment.
I'll move.
Motion and a second?
Aye. Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor of approving the May 20th Board of Zoning Adjustment minutes, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right. On the agenda, BOCC application 25-002, Croge, Michael and Colleen, and they are requesting a variance from the Fremont County zoning resolution. This is dealing with a residential setback property at 1111 Nuthatch Drive in Cotopaxi. This is in the Spruce Basin area. That's about, what, 12 miles north of Cotopaxi? Somewhere in there? Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and ask the department to give a presentation as to your review and what the situation is at the property site.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. This is project name 25002 Croge. Sorry, I'm trying to get it better. Applicants are Michael and Colleen. They are requesting approval for a variance from the Fremont County Zoning Resolution Section 4.02 Residential 2 setbacks requirements for the property located at 111 Nuthatch, Cotopaxi. The applicant is requesting a variance to amend the required setback from 50 feet to 25 feet for a storage shed on the property. The legal description is Lot 18, Block 3, Spruce Basin, filing number 4. In our Section 4.02 Residential 2, the minimum setbacks for the front setback is 50 feet. They're proposing 25, and it is deficient by 25 feet. The side setback minimum for R2 is 25 feet. They are proposing 137.2 feet, which is in compliance. The rear setback is 50 in an R2, and they are around 615.9 feet, which is plenty into compliance. Per Fremont County zoning regulations, sections 7.03, the BOCC shall have the power to grant variances from the provisions of this resolution, but only where all the following conditions are found to exist. A is the variance would not authorize any use other than those enumerated as a use of right in the zone district, and that the essential character of the zone district would not be altered. Our response is, in the R2 zone district, this building permit is allowed. So it is allowed in this district. B is an unnecessary hardship to the owner could be shown to occur if the provisions of this resolution were strictly interpreted. Our response is the removal of the trees and the bulldozing the terrain would cause a monetary unnecessary hardship to the owners if they had to make that 50-foot setback. C, the circumstances found to constitute a hardship either were not created by the owner or were in existence at the time of the passing of the resolution and cannot reasonably be corrected. Our response is the lot was legally created as of January 31st, 1972, with limited building space due to the topographical conditions of this parcel. And D, the variance would be in harmony with the general purpose and intent with the resolution and would not prejudicially affect the health, safety, and general welfare of the inhabitants of the county. Our response is granting this variance would align with the zone district's intent of non-urban areas established primarily for the purpose of efficiently using land to conserve forest resources, protecting the natural environment, and allowing for residential farming and ranching activities. So we see that it meets all four of the criteria of BOCC. We did send letters out to the neighboring lots that were touching this lot. We did not get any, the mail was sent out on the 11th of August. It was posted in the paper on the 14th, and we had no comments come back to the office. We had no letters of return or anything. Our department's recommendations, the department recommends the Board of Zoning Adjustments to approve this application for the variance to relieve the difficulties of this hardship. If such relief may be granted, there will not be substantial deterrent to the public good. The topographical conditions of this parcel make for a hardship on the property owner. As per section 7.03, the BOCC may, where feasible, grant special exemptions for the purpose of providing access to the building and the property. And that's our findings.
So we have recommendations from the department that the variance be approved. Mr. Crows, if you would like to make any comments, you would, and if you would, perhaps using whatever slides you want to call up, kind of point out what your issue is on the property and where you're trying to build your storage barn.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having this hearing for us, and welcome to everybody who lives in the community. So we live on a ridge, so we have two different pitches on our property. It goes farther down Nuthatch and then down towards a valley. We proposed this site because it was the least amount of trees we had to take down and the least amount of dirt we had to bring in. We've done that site work. We've met with Wyatt, the building inspector, to talk to him. We had a site contractor out. We removed the minimum amount of trees and built up the site. If this is not approved, we'll have to move it back 25 more feet. I'll have to take out 2 ponderosa pines that are 100-foot tall, a few aspens, and I think 1, 2, 3 lodgepole. I'll have to run dump trucks up through Spruce Basin again to bring in more fill and more rocks. The back corner of the lot, we had to build up 13 feet with boulders. I'll have to build up another 13 feet and another 20 foot back. So the financial burden is real bad. That's one of the ponderosa pines right there to the right that I shot with a laser pointer. It's just 100 foot. The tree's hundreds of years old. I've ordered 50 trees. My wife's picking up the trees tomorrow. 25 spruce, 25 lodgepole to repatriate our property. We have a lot of standing dead too when we bought the home. There's a precedent in Spruce Basin. I have pictures of homes, Quonset huts, barns, all less than 50 foot from the road. One of the owners of Quonset huts here today. I'm not asking for anything that's any different than what we already have. There's been chatter around, Spruce Basin gossip line that it's going to change the feel or it's not going to look good. We have abandoned cars in Spruce Basin. We have junkyards in Spruce Basin. Our goal was to build this building so that the garage door faces the house, not the street. So the gable ends facing the house. We chose earth tones with the building. We also chose to go with a matte finish so it wouldn't be shiny. It's metal siding, metal roof, matches our house. The color's buckskin, it's going to blend in. I'm going to plant the trees. I don't see the issue, and that's why I asked for the variance. You know, before I moved out west, I have 25 years experience building back east. I've gone through variance hearings, I understand it. I understand people's concerns. My neighbor directly across the street from me, Roger, I spoke to him directly about it. He's not opposed. I spoke to Ed, my neighbor to the left. He's not opposed because he has to pass my house. I spoke to Justin, who's directly behind me. He couldn't see the building. He's not opposed. Ashley and Zach, I don't know. We haven't spoke, so I don't know if they're opposed to it. But they don't even live on our street. They actually live at the end, going to their house.
Now,
So-
hang on. You'll have an opportunity to speak.
Going to, when they go to their house or leaving their house, they don't even see our house. This gentleman lives on Pinion. He doesn't see my house.
Okay.
This couple, they live on Basin, they don't see my house. I don't see what the big issue is, you know.
Okay. Do any of the board members have questions for the applicant or the department before we hear from any citizens?
Can you please show us the slide and show us where your property is in relation to the others in the subdivision? Which one is 111? Okay, it's the number 19 one.
There's how many acres? Did it say 6 acres? I think it's six, just over 6 acres, okay.
And the road that you're on, does that continue to a dead end at the end?
Yes,
Is that
it's a
cul-de-sac?
dead end.
Okay. And it's a straight road right there, going past, this is a straight road going past the front of your property.
Yeah, straight road goes down and then ends at a dead end.
It's not a corner on your
Not a
property,
corner.
so there's no sight lines that it's obstructing.
There is 3 total permanent residents on the street.
Okay.
Myself, Roger directly across from me, and one at the end, and Dave.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
that's fine, thank you. We'll see if you have, we'll hear from citizens and then you'll have a chance to respond again.
Okay.
Those citizens that want to comment, there's some slips on the back of the table. I think the department had a couple of slips filled out. If you want to speak, if you could fill out one of those slips, and we'll take them according to how they've been turned in. Do you have, who do you have?
We have got Thomas Benner.
Okay, let's hear from, you'll just call out the first one.
Okay.
Say it again.
Thomas Benner.
Thomas? Please, please.
I've been a Spruce Basin resident for 20 years. I
And
own
could you
two-
point out where you live as well in relation to the map?
It's 60 Turkey Spring, and I can point out property for you if you like. It's this one right here.
Okay, thank you.
Although I feel the request for this variance is relatively benign, I have to take you back to 2006 and 2007, when commercial electricity arrived in Spruce Basin. I was against that project. I wrote letters against it. The main person who pushed this project lived in Florida. He owned a vacant lot in Spruce Basin. And I remember his email handle, Cotopaxi Dreamer. He was talking about how he needed commercial electricity in order to build his dream mountain home. Well, yeah, he kept pushing and pushing, and electricity arrived in Spruce Basin in 2007. No sooner than the electricity was in, that person sold his lot with the added benefit of having commercial electricity available. I understand that I cannot stop change, and I've seen quite a few changes in Spruce Basin over the last 20 years. However, when I see relative newcomers trying to push the envelope, forgive me, but I usually stand opposed to it. Because I remember a time in Spruce Basin when you could go out at night and you could hear a mouse fart.
Okay.
Also, some of the recent buildings, they installed mercury vapor lights, which creates light pollution. It used to be totally dark up there.
Are there some lots up there that are still off the grid?
Both my properties still run exclusively on solar energy.
Okay. I don't think the county didn't have anything to do with power going in up there, did we?
No, the county didn't. I was just trying to illustrate why I'm opposed to you granting the variance. There is another point that I would like to make. The condition of Spruce Basin Drive has deteriorated over the last 2 years. Most of the last 20 years, Dale, that is one of the greater drivers, was maintaining the road. In fact, I saw Dale, I think it was earlier this year, and I stopped and I told him a big thank you for all those years that he maintained the roads up there, because he did an outstanding job. I could tell the minute someone else was doing it. Now the road is ill-maintained. There are rocks popping out everywhere. I can maybe drive 15 miles an hour on it.
Okay.
I would ask you to look into this and maybe confer with the road commission.
Well, that's not our role. That I can assure you, you can make a phone call to the Department of Transportation.
Well, I'm about to write a letter about it.
Okay.
Because the last 2 years that road has deteriorated. And I figure next time the tax assessor feels that my properties are worth more, well, I might have to protest that. Because if I were to sell one or the other property up there and the prospective buyer has to negotiate that road, well, it's going to make the property worth less and not more.
Hang on. It's just my wife. All right, anything else, sir?
Well, thank you for listening.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you for your comments.
Who's the next one that's signed up?
Richard McKean.
Richard? Richard was here a week ago.
Yes, I was, as a matter of fact. And I've got my hearing aids in today.
All right, good.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to me today. I have three.
Could you list your address and show us where you live?
Yeah, I have property, Lot 10, up here in Spruce Basin. There's no dwelling on that lot.
Which lot is it? Could you show us?
That's it, yeah. It's down one. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Lot 10, yeah. And I have had Lot 10. I go back and forth there. I used to live in Tennessee, and we'd go back and forth, spend the summers up here and on my lot. And I bought that in 2001, and I checked in the, matter of fact, Ed and I were in the registry office there in 2001. So I've owned that lot for 24 years. And I have, with my dog, hiked up and down every single road in the northern part of Spruce Basin here. Hiked up and down Deer Run, which is now Nuthatch, right? And So I'm very familiar with the environment up there. In my opinion, I have 3 points to make. The first point is the environment. The reason I bought the land, my wife and I bought the land, and my daughter lives there too, is that it's remote, it's rural, and it's beautiful. Mountains, rocks, trees, and I'm very familiar with it, having walked up and down all the roads over the last 24 years. In my opinion, this a building, this is a 40-foot-long building, 25 feet, what would that be about from here to that wall, I guess, would be, I don't know, I use this word jarring, or it would not be in keeping at all with the rest of the property up there. And I like it because it's remote, and yet it is close to Canyon City, it's close to Salida. There's a store and a gas station in Cotopaxi, and but I've lived there, had property up there for 24 years. And I would ask the Krogs why. Now, they have bought their property, Lot 18, less than a year ago, and have moved there in June, my understanding. So now I wonder why they bought this property if they knew the topography of it and why it was that way in the first place. So that's one comment. The second comment has to do with the roads, and Tom made a comment about the roads, and we've had rain the last few weeks, terrible rain. Things have washed out. Drainage needs to be done, and I think a 25-foot might be okay, but it might not be okay. A 50-foot would provide plenty of room for drainage channels to be put in and road maintenance, and then we haven't even approached the winter yet, piles of snow on the side of the road, and you certainly wouldn't want to have that right next to a building, right? So road maintenance is my second point.
Well, let me understand. How close, you talk about drainage within that 25 or 50-foot
Well, I think
setback.
in some of the-
Is that's next to the next property line as opposed to a road, right?
There are drainage ditches on other roads here where the road crew has been kind of forced to run the ditch away from the road, and as the water collects.
But my question is, the setback is from another property line, it's not from a county road.
I thought that's what we're talking about from the county road, the setback from the county road. They want 25 feet from the county road, right?
Is that what it is? Okay.
Is that right?
Well, that's what the department just shook their head, yes.
Yes, it's a 25-foot setback from that county road, but that is their front setback is what they're asking for.
Front setback.
Is off their front setback.
Okay.
From the county road, yes.
All
That's
right.
like from me to that wall. Is that enough room for drainage for this road that?
All right, we'll address that with the department.
Okay. The third point I'd like to make is utilities. There are two, and as Tom pointed out, there's a high voltage electric wire up there. I think it's running the road. We had a situation, I have a cabin over in Indian Springs on Bird Point. Last summer, they ran a new underground cable. The underground cable, which is similar voltage and so forth to the one at Spruce Basin, failed. And rather than try to repair it, they ran a new cable along the side of the road. And so my point is that I'm not sure if 25 feet is enough room for, if 20 years from now, another electric cable needs to be run. So utility space. The second utility is the phone line, and I think that's run on the side of the road there too. And while I'm talking about this, a couple of years ago up at Spruce Basin, no, up at, excuse me, Indian Springs, there's a road, and they buried the telephone wire in the road, I think 3 feet deep. Somehow over the years of grading, they dug up the phone wire. And it took them a couple of months, but they re-ran the phone line, but they ran it this time on the side of the road, way out of the road of any potential future grading or whatever. So those are my 3 points. The environment, keep it beautiful. Don't put a 40-foot long building 25 feet from the side of the road. Second point is the road, maintenance and grading. Third point are the utilities, potential future utilities, and I think that was a reason for the 50-foot setback in the first place, if I'm right about that, yeah.
All right.
So I thank you very much. Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
comments.
Just clarification from the department, in his comments about the electrical lines, is there utility easement along the road there?
There's actually a utility easement on the property. It's on the front part of the property. You got a 10-foot utility easement. On the side property lines, there's a 5-foot utility easement on all the properties in that subdivision.
5 foot?
10 foot on the front, 5 foot on the sides.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker?
Ashley Boyd.
Hi.
Hi, I hadn't actually intended to speak at all, but mostly I wanted a chance to respond to Mike that.
Well, could you identify
Yeah, the
your
first-
address, please?
Yeah, the first is with the address. He's right that my address is technically on Basin Drive and not on Nuthatch. We're on Lot 18 immediately to the west of them, which you can see has more property line on Nuthatch than it does on Basin. We're right on the corner there. No, we're not across the street. We're immediately adjacent to that.
To the left, Mike.
Right there where the mouse is.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do share a property line with him. He is incorrect that I cannot see his house from my house. I see his house from my front deck. I'm not here to make an issue about what he does or does not want to do with his property, but I would like to point out that I do see your house from my house. I do see your house from my house, and I do share a property line with you, and I can see your shop. I am also one of your immediate next-door neighbors, and I have also been over there to introduce myself and to invite you and welcome you to the neighborhood, but neither of you have said a single word to me about what's going on, so I'm here because I'm curious to find out what's going on with the lot immediately adjacent to mine. I would just like to say to you that it's incorrect that I can't see from
Well,
my house.
could
We
you
are
do-
right next to you.
Could you
Brett.
address your comments to the board?
Yeah, my comments to the board are, yes, I live immediately next door to his lot. I can see his house and his shop. You can see it from the road. I would like to know what's going on. I would like to know why the fill and all of the prep work has been done for the site before any variance was approved. I'm just wondering what's going on. And you guys say that you sent letters out and you never heard anything back from anyone. I didn't realize in those letters that you were expecting a response other than me to show up here. So this is my response. I'd like to know what's going on.
So do you have a position on the variance request?
I would like to know why they need the variance request. And part of what I'm hearing is that it would be an undue hardship on them because they've already put so much work into the site prep work that they've done. I want to know why they put so much work and money into the site prep work before the variance was approved and why that qualifies as a hardship that they didn't bring on themselves.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that cares to speak on the record?
We have a John. Thank you, I'm sorry.
How do you spell it?
Louis, D-L-O-U-T-Y?
DeLuey, D-L-O-U-H-Y.
H-Y.
Hi, John.
Yes, sir.
Can you give us your address and point out where you live?
567 Turkey Springs. That S shape on Turkey Springs.
Hang on. Which S shape?
Right, go up, right there.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have no issue with a building being 25 feet to 50 feet, it doesn't make me any difference. You're going to still see the building from the road. That's my opinion. Did I understand that there's the telephones line is on private property? I thought it would run down the side of the road.
I don't think our board knows, and I'm not sure the department knows.
We do know that there's a 10-foot utility easement on all the front lots and then a 5-foot on the side, so it could run in any of those utility easements.
So it could be on or property, private property. It's got a 5-foot easement.
Within that 10 feet, yes.
Okay. Also, the property line comes up, doesn't come to the ditch. The ditch is on the county property, so that setback is, there's no water running up from his setback 25 feet. Somebody said it was the ditch was needed, the 25-foot needed for the ditch or something. Maybe I didn't understand.
Well, he was addressing overall concerns about drainage, given the high frequency of some of the rainfall recently.
What does that have to do with the setback?
Well, that we don't know, and I think the applicant is probably going to address that here in just a moment.
All right. Okay, that's all I got to say.
Okay.
I have no issue with the building site as it is.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And not as the chairman, but as a member, Mr. Croge, if you could address that concern about the drainage and whether there's going to be, I mean, in that kind of terrain, given a particular rain event, you're not going to have the perfect drainage in any location along any county road. I've seen that over the years. However, particularly for this application, if you could address your view of your property in relation to any potential drainage problems for a 25-foot setback versus a full 50-foot setback.
Okay. First, this county has also what's called a snowplow easement, which is 15 feet, to allow for snow plowing when snow comes over the sides. There's a 10-foot utility easement that Mike correctly stated. My property doesn't start, and my property markers are about 8 foot away from the ditch that everybody's concerned about, into my property. Everything's measured from the center of the crown of the road, too. So my property's pretty far. Like, there's not going to be a water problem. The utility easement's utility easement. It's 10 foot. Electric line, high voltage comes down within 10 foot. But I'm well off the road. To address concerns of why we started this project without the zoning approved, in Fremont County, you have to get a building permit first. We went to get the building permit. Our contractor told us the setback was 25 feet. Site contractor told us it was 25 feet. I went here to pull my building permit, and I met with Wyatt, and he said, your contractor gave you wrong information, it's 50 foot. I contacted the zoning office, got the BOCC application, filled out the application. That's how I ended up in this position. Even if this is not approved, the barn will be built. I'm just going to spend another $15,000, and it's going to be another 23 feet back, which there was measurements thrown around from people who don't work with measurements that just weren't correct. It's not going to change the look. The building's still going to get built. I didn't realize Ashley and Zach couldn't see could see our house. I don't see their house, so I don't have enough windows facing that way. I didn't go see them. I didn't think they would have an issue with it. I didn't talk to any of the neighbors until all this kind of blew up. We've done everything by Fremont County rules and laws. I'm asking for this because I'm legally entitled to it. I've met every criteria on the BOCC application. I've been forthcoming. Since all this happened, I've found out that there's so many buildings, Quonset huts built, never had a permit, never had a zoning. I'm not that person. I'm going through zoning, I'm going through building, I'm trying to do this properly. I hope everybody can see that and act reasonably. I do have pictures of homes that are less than 50 foot from the road and other buildings and storage buildings. Somebody had asked why I need this building. I have stuff in Cotopaxi self-storage right now. So we're storing things there. Our house was originally built as a vacation home. It has very little storage. The original owners were from Texas. We're full-time residents and we just need storage. Again, I truly hope we can use some common sense here and just follow the Fremont County laws. Thank you.
Okay, board members, do you have any other questions for the applicant or the department?
I do not. No.
Okay, I just want to, as my own personal observations, I wanted to take note as well. What the applicant just emphasized was that when some of the neighbors were talking about the aesthetics and the historical nature of those properties, my thought at that very moment was that he's going to build the building one way or the other, whether he's got a 25-foot setback or a 50-foot setback. So that's the real crux of the issue that our board is considering, whether the variance is appropriate regardless of any of the aesthetics. I'm not telling you to dismiss the aesthetics, but in my mind, that's not the driving force. So if there's no questions, the chair will entertain a motion one way or the other on the request for variance of the setback requirements for this particular piece of property in Spruce Basin.
If I can address the board as a
Oh,
staff.
yes, go ahead.
We, as a staff, we could recommend, or we would recommend a drainage plan if that was sufficed for BOCC to be able to do that.
Well, let me ask this question. As part of this application, did the Department of Transportation, anybody in the road crews take a look at the impact of this proposed setback?
They look at site views, so we had no comments from FCDOT
Okay.
or concerns.
And site work that's already been done, am I to assume that the site work has not affected any of the existing drainage of County Road right-of-way?
Site view, not site work, is what they assess. So any of that site work they've done, they will not assess that unless it was affecting their access points.
Their access points, but what about drainage in the County Road right-of-way?
No, they
No.
wouldn't address that.
Okay. Back to entertaining a motion.
Ed,
Does anybody
can I
have a
make a
discussion?
comment on what you said?
One more comment.
One more comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
My understanding is that when this original fill was put in, they filled in the drainage ditch. And the sheriff and the road crew, I guess, got involved and they were forced to dig out the ditch. So they seem to have no awareness, at least they didn't have any awareness of the type of
All right,
drainage
well,
that's
now you're raising a
necessary.
new point, and that's why I posed the question to the department.
Yeah, we had no comments or concerns from FCDOT with this project.
All right, Mr.
So there's no
Croce,
issues.
go ahead.
The sheriff has never been at 111 Nuthatch. I've never met a sheriff. I did not do anything to the drainage ditch. All of the site work is 27 and 30 feet from the property line, which is 8 foot from the drainage ditch. I actually cleaned the drainage ditch and the culvert out myself because it was clogged. Again, this is just rumor and innuendo, it's not correct. The
Well,
building's gonna have 2 gutters on it. The gutters are gonna outlet to the back of my own property, not towards the county road. It's in the building permit, why it's all it. There's a swale, I used part of my existing driveway and parking lot. There's a swale in the center that comes like this and drains to the back of my lot. I put less water in the county road than I do putting into it,
Am I
much
to
less.
assume that you yourself, as the owner of the property, would be just as concerned about the drainage?
Absolutely.
More than anybody else?
Yeah.
Because of how it would affect your property, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody want to make a motion? Tim?
I move for approval.
All right, I have a motion by Tim Bennett to approve the variance at 111 Nuthatch Drive, Cotopaxi and Spruce Basin to allow the 25-foot setback versus 50 feet. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second by Kevin Brown. Let's have a roll call vote on this one so we have a record.
Everybody
Just call each of our names for roll call.
Tim,
Yay.
Ed,
Aye.
Matt,
Yes.
Kevin.
Aye.
All right. Your variance is granted on a vote of 4-0. Good luck, and I hope that everybody in Spruce Basin can find a way to appreciate their property where they have it and get along. And I haven't been up there in years, but I know it's a beautiful area. And to the first speaker, you know, that you can't prevent change, and as long as somebody's going to see a particular piece of property that they want to improve, then they're going to be attracted to buy in that particular area. I don't know how you avoid that unless you buy up all of the property yourself. With that, we are adjourned.